Dennis Schroeder is officially on the trade block. The Sacramento Kings, just months after signing the German guard to a 3-year, $45 million contract, are already showing regret. Schroeder has been moved to the bench in Sacramento, a baffling decision that exposes the Kings' front office chaos and opens a controversial window in the market. Boston is facing a devastating season without Jason Tatum, who suffered a ruptured Achilles tendon and will miss the entire 2025-26 campaign. After trading Kristaps Porzingis and Drew Holiday for Anthony Simons, the Celtics now sit in unstable territory, competitive enough to avoid a full teardown, but too fragile to ignore immediate reinforcement. Schroeder knows Boston's system. In the 2021-22 season, he averaged 14.4 points and 4.2 assists in 49 games with the Celtics, providing stability after Kemba Walker's departure. Now, at 32 years old, after a strong run in Brooklyn with averages of 18.4 points and 6 assists, Schroeder still has fuel left, especially in the playoff, where he posted 12.5 points, 3.7 assists, and an impressive 47% shooting from 3 with Detroit. The problem? Sacramento's desperate to move him. Schroeder has already played for 10 teams in 12 seasons, a path that fuels doubts about his cultural impact in locker room. He himself compared the NBA trade deadline to modern slavery, a controversial comment that split opinions and raised questions about his mindset under pressure. The Celtics desperately need wing depth and players who can function as hybrid forwards and big. With Al Horford and Luke Cornett entering free agency and the front court exposed after Porzingis' exit, Boston needs reliable veteran. Schroeder offers exactly that: speed, shot creation, and experience in decisive moments. On top of that, Boston is trapped under the second salary apron, facing severe restrictions on contract aggregation. Schroeder, earning around $14 million per year, fits neatly within the Celtics' financial limitation, especially if Sacramento is willing to attach draft picks to facilitate the deal. The NBA is on the verge of one of the most shocking trade proposals of the modern era. Bill Simmons from The Ringer suggested a straight-up swap between LeBron James and Jimmy Butler, sending LeBron to the Golden State Warriors to finally team up with Stephen Curry, a partnership the NBA world has been quietly begging for since their Olympic success together. But here is the key point. This chaos could create unexpected opportunities for the Boston Celtics. LeBron James, now 41 years old, is posting career-low numbers: 20.5 points, 6.7 assists, and 4.9 rebounds in just 14 games. Simmons stated bluntly, "LeBron really does not look like he wants to be on the Lakers. That is my opinion." With the Lakers now prioritizing Luka Doncic, who was acquired from Dallas in February, LeBron has become expendable, a dethroned king in his own kingdom. The Warriors, meanwhile, are stuck in mediocrity with a 16-16 record, sitting 8th in the West. Their offense, once explosive, has fallen to 114.9 points per game, ranking 22nd in the NBA. Golden State has reportedly contacted the Lakers several times over the past 18 months about LeBron, but Los Angeles always refused. Now, with LeBron's window closing and frustration growing, this scenario feels more realistic than ever. Butler is averaging 19.6 points, 5.6 rebounds, and 4.9 assists with the Warriors, bringing defensive intensity and toughness in ugly game, exactly where the Lakers have struggled. At 36, Butler would be a better complement to Doncic and Austin Reeves, allowing Luka to dominate the ball while Butler handles the dirty defensive work. The problem? LeBron has a no-trade clause, giving him full control over his destination. But would LeBron really turn down the chance to play with Curry after their proven Olympic chemistry? On top of that, Anthony Simons, on an expiring $27 million contract, stands out as a potential trade chip if the Celtics decide he is not a long-term fit. Using Simons as part of a 3- or 4-team trade involving LeBron and Butler could deliver exactly what Boston needs: a versatile wing, or a defensive big for when Jason Tatum returns. Former Celtics star Paul Pierce dropped a bombshell on the NBA market by suggesting a seismic trade: Anthony Davis to the Golden State Warriors in exchange for Jonathan Kuminga. According to Pierce, the move would seriously shake up the Western Conference, But the most shocking truth is that the Boston Celtics could end up as collateral damage in this catastrophic negotiation. Now, with Mavericks governor Patrick Dumont preferring to see Davis playing alongside Cooper Flagg and Kyrie Irving before making any drastic move, Dallas finds itself trapped in a brutal dilemma: trade Davis while he still has value, or risk yet another catastrophic injury that could completely destroy his market. Pierce argued that Dallas should prioritize young pieces in a rebuild centered around Cooper Flagg, the future face of the franchise. Jonathan Kuminga, in theory, fits perfectly. At just 23 years old, he is averaging 11.8 points, 6.2 rebounds, and 2.8 assists this season. But here is the bombshell. Kuminga was benched by head coach Steve Kerr and has not played in recent Warriors game, signaling irreparable tension. Insider Chris Haynes reported that Kuminga had numerous meetings with Kerr that failed to resolve their differences, and rival teams expect him to be traded after January 15th. Even worse, Kuminga signed a 2-year, $48.5 million contract with a team option specifically designed to make him easier to trade. One veteran NBA executive called Kuminga's contract one of the best trade chips in the league, which is often code for desperation to move him. If the Warriors land Davis and send Kuminga to Dallas, they will likely need a third or even fourth team to balance salaries and assets. League executives are reportedly not impressed with the assets Golden State can offer outright for Davis, meaning outside help would almost certainly be required. The market has not even fully heated up yet, but one certainty is already circulating among executives and rival teams. If Giannis Antetokounmpo truly hits the trade block, nobody wants to be in that bidding war against the Boston Celtics. And that is not exaggeration, it is real fear. Milwaukee feels the ground shaking, the roster has aged, injuries have become routine, and the East is no longer a controlled territory. Giannis is past 30, carries 13 seasons with the franchise, one champion, 2 MVPs, and a bill that is starting to come due. But does it make sense to keep pushing? Or is the unexpected about to happen? The Celtics do not offer just assets. They offer context, a winning environment, a ready-made structure, a project that does not start from zero. For Giannis, it would be a chance to fight for titles immediately without the burden of carrying everything alone. For Milwaukee, a fast and organized rebuild with a clear direction. But would the Bucks really accept sending their icon to their biggest rival of the last decade? Jaylen Brown is playing at an all-NBA level. Jason Tatum remains the face of the franchise. Adding Giannis to that core creates something the league has not seen since the great historic trio. Physical dominance, smothering defense, absurd versatility. Giannis could play as a 4 or a 5, pushing the pace, protecting the rim, and punishing tired defenses. What nobody expected was just how dominant that fit could be in today's Eastern Conference. Milwaukee would not ask for little: unprotected picks, future swaps, productive young players, contracts that ease the cap now and preserve flexibility later. Fan favorites in Boston would enter the conversation, and then the uncomfortable question emerges: how far should Brad Stevens go? Is it worth sacrificing depth and identity for an aggressive title window? Some argue this move would shorten the future. Others defend the opposite, that ignoring Giannis if he becomes available would be historic negligence. The Celtics have something few teams possess: assets, timing, bargaining power, and most importantly, they do not need to sell a dream. It already exists. The final question lingers in the air. Does Giannis want to keep fighting against the clock in Milwaukee, or write the most controversial chapter of the modern NBA rivalry?